This is Eric Barnes. My friend Kevin has worked at Disney for decades. Sadly, he lost his job during a mass layoff at the studio. I made this video the very next day. The building blocks of the human spirit are our stories and our memories. Stories and memories make us who we are. Disney isn't like any other studio on earth. It inspires loyalty and devotion like no other company in existence. Those blessed to work here love that we are a part of the legacy, the culture, and the magic of the greatest storytellers in the history of the world. Kevin has some great stories to tell. I hope you enjoy hearing them as much as I do.
We're in the ZORRO parking lot. Now this parking lot, you can show up there.
Yeah, well, we got some parking lot footage.
This parking lot
Yeah.
was built over the old ZORRO set. And in western town with that lot. And when I was right out of college, I used to give tours to people. We went through the back lot and put that children on. And then this is stage 2. And when I was about 27, I was working on Epcot. I was given the stage and in control of it
Cool.
to do mock-ups for the Epcot projection systems, which I think there's 7 or 8 different projection systems. You got circle vision, you got 70mm 3D, you got half a circle vision. They also had a diorama, which is 3 70mm projectors shooting at one time. So of course all this had to be scaled down, and we had film crews literally all over the world sending us footage. And we had our own editors with flatbeds, edit systems, right inside this corner. Right there, right in that corner. That whole corner was nothing but we had walled up edit system, and then we had circle vision setups.
Cool.
So anyway, as a 27-year-old, I felt quite powerful until one day I got a call from Bob, excuse me, I got a call from Bob Jabot, who was the president of the studio. You know, he ran everything out of the studio, and he told me I was. He wanted to come up and see him because I was over budget on stage 2. And so anyway, I went up there, and there's my boss and him and my boss's boss, and they're all looking very grim. And Bob Jabot says, Kevin, do you know you're $2 million over budget? And I said, well, I only had a $75,000 budget to begin with, and that was the cost of one projector, you know. And we had something like a dozen projectors on stage 2. And so anyway, he looked at my bosses, and then he looked at me and he said, great job. So here I am. I think I'm going to get fired on the spot for being over, you know, and they're just pulling my leg because, but it's, you know, what are you going to say, you know?
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
So this is what's today known as Pluto's Corner. But this sign here, if you shoot the sign.
Yeah, I'll get the sign.
The sign was actually put here for, I believe, the film called The Reluctant Dragon. And then they just left it here, and it's become kind of an icon for people visiting the lot. Everybody gets a picture taken with it. And Pluto's Corner, I think this was added later on. They actually named Pluto's Corner. Across was the theater.
Yeah, still is here.
And still theater, and this is where they had the Fantasia sound, the first stereophonic sound made specifically for film. which was for Fantasia. But they also did a lot of employee screenings there. When my dad was in marketing, my dad Lee Ream, he would have special screenings for all the new films that came out. And we actually saw, I actually saw Tron, the first Tron, in that building.
Yeah. Okay. So my little story about Legends Plaza is, you know, as anybody who knows me knows, I'm a huge Disney fan in addition to being a cast member, and I wanted to become a cast member for so long. It took about a year of working at Disney before I was converted over to actually being a full cast member. And the very first thing that I did when I came to the lot to get the blue badge, Partners Federal Credit Union is now in this building that's over here, but that used to be security, and that was where you'd get your badge. I got my badge, I walked out here to Legends Plaza, and sat right here. Just kind of took it in, you know. Sitting next to the statue of Roy, being able to look at the statue of Walt, and being blown away by the fact that I actually made it. You know, I'm actually here, and I'm actually doing what I always wanted to do. I never expected to be a part of Disney. I was just one of those kids who grew up watching TV shows and dreaming about it. But you know, I came from a blue-collar, middle-class family in Ohio. Nobody back there ever did anything like this, and it was just a pipe dream. And this was the spot where I think it really kind of sank in.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So that's my story.
Now this is Winston Hibbler.
Okay.
Okay, Winston was, he was one of the few producers that Walt actually gave participation in. He wrote all the nature films, as well as several other things. He was quite an incredible producer, and he's the gentleman who hired my dad here at Disney.
That's cool.
And that was during the Mary Poppins, because they needed extra people to help sell the film, and my dad was in marketing. So
that's cool.
And then Winston's son, Michael Hibbler, went to school with my dad, so that's how they knew each other. So here's Buddy Hackett's plaque. Of course, they gave it to him after he had died. But I was fortunate enough to interview him about the Love Bug on the DVD. And cool. He actually invited me to his, it was that day, it was his birthday. I had a birthday cake and everything. And actually invited me to a dinner, his birthday dinner, but I couldn't go. So he gave me a rain check. And believe it or not, he called me 2 weeks later to come have dinner at his house with a bunch of guests. And he sat me right next to him because he was so pleased that I had known it was his birthday. That was the machine shop. And when I worked here, all the projectors, all the film, all the cameras, circle visions, and so forth was built right here on the lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they actually built stuff. And Iwerks, who I mentioned earlier, his son Don Iwerks ran the machine shop, and I became very good friends with him during the Epcot days. Now over here, you're going to see the mill. You can turn the camera around.
All right.
And that's been here since day one. And this is where they built sets. And a lot of the stuff for Disneyland actually was built in this mill shop, including parts of the Mark Twain steamboat. And a lot of the hippos and all that kind of stuff was actually built right here in this shop here.
That's
cool.
cool.
You can see where they're building sets nowadays.
Yeah. It's cool.
And of course, in the old days, you could walk right in there. Now you need a hard hat, kick you out.
All right.
So this is what's left of the berms that surrounded the lot. This is the only berm left, and it's still used as parks, and they use it in a lot of films or TV shows. On the other side is Keystone Street, and Disney has basically bought all the homes on Keystone Street to use in their various films, because now they don't have a back lot.
Oh, I never knew that.
They have all those homes, about 80% of them are owned by Disney. Some of the holdout neighbors are, still holding out. Anyway, you can see here how they just piled all this dirt up and then planted it. If you come over here, You can see how high it is.
Yeah.
How that is right there. And
Yeah.
what's left of it. If you come over here, you'll see a wall, a cement wall holding the rest of the berm back.
Mm-hmm.
And in the early days, that was all one big berm. You could actually walk back there, and you were so they had cleared it away, and it was like you were in the middle of a forest. You'd never know you were on the back lot, especially if you put a camera there. You look all around you, you couldn't see outside. You just see big trees and lots of grass, and so.
That's cool. All right, the battery is pretty much dead on the camera. That's about it. So this has been our little tour of the studio with me, with Eric, and with Kevin.
Right.
And now we're heading back to the office for the interactive group. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
One afternoon, I had lunch with the Vice President of Talent Acquisition at Disney, and she asked me, what was my next big goal in life? I told her that my long-term goal is to be a Disney legend someday. Her eyes got really big and she said, wow, because she knew it was a very lofty thing to strive for. And I told her I have no idea whatsoever how I can possibly achieve that dream, but I still have it. I hope I remain at Disney for decades to come and retire as a legend. Disney is my home. It's where I belong. I hope Kevin finds his way back home. Disney is where he belongs too.
Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. Forever let us hold our banner high. Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company. M.I.C.
See you real soon.
K-E-Y.
Why? Because we like you.
M-O